We are going to be covering the DOM, which is the document object model. And a lot of what we do in JavaScript involves manipulating the DOM. And you are going to want to read the chapter in the book and then kind of review the key concepts. And so you'll go through this overview, basically talks about how the DOM fits into the browser object model, okay? Because it is part of a bigger model. So it's kind of important that you kind of get the big picture in how everything fits together. Okay? And then we get into the DOM specifically. Okay, so you can pretty much read through this. It defines the concepts, gives a lot of examples. And then we get into more coding explanations. And so with all of the coding explanations, there are links to YouTube videos that will explain the various sections. You'll also notice that kind of built in, I have little interactive goodies for you guys. So it's not too boring going through the notes. Also, quite a few of the examples have live pages that you can select so you can kind of see them in action. And I think it is helpful sometimes to look at these. Okay. And then if you view page source, you can actually see not just the HTML, but you can see the script that I used as well. So you'll go down, work through all of these different sections. And this particular lecture demo, to me, is one of the most important because you're going to be learning how to target different elements in a page. So super important that you guys work through all of this so that you understand it all. And one of the ways that you can traverse a page is using nodes. So this basically talks about the different nodes and how you would access them. And if you want to dynamically add content to a page, you actually are kind of doing it using the nodes. Okay, so adding, removing content, all of that fun stuff, that's all nodes. And if we work through here, changing HTML elements and their attributes, this gets into style changes, which I don't think you guys are going to have any problem with. This last section, the difference between text content, inner text, and inner HTML, I included this because you do need to know this for your MTA certification. There are questions on these, and specifically there's like drop-down lists where you have to pick the correct one. So you do need to understand when these different methods are used. Okay, and then I tried to do some interactive examples that you can kind of play with so you can see how they're different. So once you work through this, then you're going to work on the programming assignment. And as usual, you start with adding your folders. And in this case, we aren't really copying files, we're just creating folders. And then we get into the different exercises where you will be downloading or copying files. So this is a unicycle page and a bunch of graphics that you are going to be downloading because you're going to be animating the unicycle. And it's going to kind of work like this push pin. Okay, the only difference is it's going to be a unicycle instead of a little happy bouncing pin. The code is very similar. And so I kind of describe what the code is doing. And there is also a video that basically works you through all of this and walks through a verbal explanation of what the code is doing. So it is important that you, in JavaScript especially, that you understand what you're doing. So make sure you watch that video because it will definitely help you. And then we have an example where you're dealing with DOM collections. And so there is a video here explaining what you can do. And I also created a very similar exercise to what you have to do. And this exercise deals with collections. And then finally, you're going to be creating a page that involves changing content. Please watch the video because it goes through the requirements. And I have quite a few examples. Keep in mind that you need to add, delete, and update, all three, not just one. This is not an or, it's an and. Okay, so these examples may not have all three, so you might have to combine examples to get the page that you need. Okay, so you will be working on this. And then once you're done, you're going to go into the Dropbox and submit done. That way I know it's ready for grading.